for the Mississippi Municipal League's annual conference, ready to embark on a new career journey. The $1 Million Job Fair is tomorrow at Edgewater Mall in Biloxi. Whether you're looking to start fresh or take the next big step in your career, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out. See you there. That's the $1 Million Job Fair in Biloxi from 10 to 2 p.m. tomorrow at Edgewater Mall. We're pleased to welcome now the mayor of Greenwood, Mississippi, Mayor Carolyn McAdams. Mayor, good to see you again.
Good morning. Good to see you too, Gerard. Always good to be on SuperTalk.
Thank you for coming on. So we were just talking offline. It looks like this year's convention is absolutely well attended. Lots of folks here.
Absolutely. I think they have 1,500 elected officials, and then all in all, 2,500 have signed up to be here. So it's always a big convention because it's the largest one that they have, the annual convention.
Yeah.
So they have lots of educational courses, like 68. So if you can't find something to get, and also the exhibitors this year, more than they've ever had, over 300 exhibitors in there.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, I just noticed just walking through the convention hall here, just a lot of folks. And I saw the exhibitors too, a bunch of them. So
and the election always brings them out too, the second vice president election. So that always brings them out too. So we're just glad to be here. The weather's been great, except for a small time yesterday afternoon when everything broke loose with the thunderstorm.
Storms come through, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what's on your mind these days? What are some of the biggest challenges that are facing you guys in Greenwood and really just cities and towns across the state of Mississippi? What's on everybody's mind?
Well, Gerard, most of the time right now, and has been for several years, is the health care and the conditions of the local community hospitals. Even though Greenwood LaForest Hospital was on the verge of closure, and we've hurdled that gap, so it's doing better with what the governor did for the Medicaid reimbursement. So that has at least put us on the track for breaking even. Okay. At least we're not bleeding financially like we were. We've brought back some services. They've opened up a few more of the ICU beds. So in all, it's doing much better, and we're still waiting on the critical access approval from the federal government. Mm-hmm. And hopefully by the end of this year, we will either have a yes or no on that. And, the legislature did not pass the Delta Health regional health care. So, but I'm sure that's not just a stop. They're going to continue with that program going forward.
Yes, if you could get, the hospital could get a critical care access designation, I believe that would increase the reimbursement.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We would be in good standing on that point if we were able to do that.
Okay.
So
what about the city of Greenwood's infrastructure? How's that looking? I know that's always something that you guys are dealing with at the level of municipal government.
Well, that is very true. But, ARPA funds really, really helped all the cities and towns with their infrastructure, especially the cap that the legislators were able to give us, like a dollar for dollar.
Some matching funds,
matching funds. So Greenwood certainly jumped on board with that, and we are already beginning. We were one of the first bidders for our lining of all of our sewer lines.
Okay.
So that came under bid. So my money is really going to go a long way with the match fund. So it looks like we're going to be able to line about 75 or 80% of our sewers.
Okay.
Sewer lines in Greenwood, which is great because most of them are 75 to 80 years old and are collapsing daily. So that's going to be a huge plus for Greenwood. And then just different projects, streetscapes. We're doing a river project this year because we have that great Yazoo River, and it's used quite frequently for fishermen and the water skiing and just different water sports that people are now using that river for. And we've never had a boat dock, so we're going to put in a boat dock so that people don't have to trailer their boats in and out constantly during the day.
Gotcha.
So I'm real excited about that.
What about the city's revenue situation, Mayor? How are you looking there?
We're looking good. Like I said, the ARPA funds really helped all of us, but, we do have, because of in the past we've had sewer cave-ins, that has been a financial burden. But now that we're able to line these sewer lines, then that's going to be a tremendous help and maybe not such a burden on our budget each year.
Anything in particular that you feel like you need from the legislature? I know that obviously our city leaders are always in constant contact with members of the legislature, their delegation, as well as legislative leadership. Anything in particular there you need?
Well, PERS was a big thing this year, and Mayor Barker from Hattiesburg did a fantastic job leading the charge and trying to get them to pay attention to that cities just could not have that on their budget. It was just too much for cities to undertake. And even though it wasn't a win-win, they heard us.
Yeah. And
so they know now that we are something to be reckoned with on that end, and that we're going to be watching that closely. It's just too much. It was just too much. So we did get it passed on to next year so that we don't have to, because it wasn't within our budget year, that they wanted the increase. So he did a fantastic job, and we all came and had a press conference about that, and they heard that, hey, we weren't just going to stand by and take that, just idling by.
I saw him, the mayor, testify to the Senate committee on the matter. And he did an outstanding job of just outlining what the challenges and issues would be at the municipal level if the 5 percentage point increase were to go into effect.
Absolutely.
Which would have been July 1st in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Next week, actually. So
it would have been devastating. And the other thing is, like we said at the press conference, there was about 5 mayors, and I was one of them that spoke out in the press conference. And you couldn't raise taxes because that really wasn't a governmental issue.
Right.
It was just a few of us that had PERS. Not everybody in the city of Greenwood had it. So it really wouldn't have been fair to ask the voters and the residents of Greenwood to raise taxes for our benefit.
Do you feel like this is something that the citizens of Greenwood are even aware of, or did this thing just kind of bubble up and started getting a lot of attention because of some of the financial challenges with PERS, and so you started seeing more discussion about it within government, in the news, like we do here on this program?
Exactly.
Are people starting to pay attention to that now,
Absolutely.
you think?
They weren't before because it was never an issue until they increased it with that huge hike annually for the next 5 years. And so then the public became aware of it because we were all aware of it, and we were preaching, hey, we can't sustain that. We cannot sustain that going forward. Yeah. And most cities could not, because it was a huge impact on every city's budget.
Yeah. So you were talking about lots of the workshops that are occurring here at the convention. Anything in particular that you thought was of interest?
Well, the health care, we really did a push. Mayor Simmons started that when he was the president, and it kind of filtered over into my presidency. So we started making real emphasis on health care for cities and towns and villages that do not have health care.
Okay.
And so now we have made a huge leap in that direction, and there's going to be a mayor's panel discussion on that this afternoon that I think people are going to really enjoy coming to and listening the possibilities of health care for their cities and towns and villages.
Okay, because this is an issue across the country. It's not unique to the state of Mississippi. And so these subject matter experts are consulting essentially and providing information and inputs to municipal leaders across the nation.
Right, and how to get grants, how to make your money go further. It's just, like I said, it's 68 educational courses.
Wow.
That you're challenged to go to, and they're up there speaking about it. They're the experts. So you have the ability to ask questions and talk to them after the meetings. So it's just a fabulous opportunity for everyone.
What about the aspect, as you have at a convention like this in person, of just interacting with your peers, the mayors and leaders in other cities and counties? Do you learn from them?
Yeah, I say that all the time. I mean, I've been serving for 16 years as the mayor of Greenwood, and when I first started serving in 2009, this was tremendous for me because I didn't know anything about being the mayor. I really didn't. So through the classes, through the courses, through the networking from other mayors, you have that opportunity. You can ask them if you know something that they've done that you might want to get some more information on. They're right there at your availability. Yeah. So, and then the Delta mayors are real close. We're a tight-knit group. We support one another's communities and cities, and just because they come to Greenwood for this and that, they go to Indianola to see B.B. King. They go on over to Cleveland. I mean, so there's so many opportunities throughout the Delta that we all have a little piece of the pie to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you optimistic about the future of the Delta? We got about a minute left.
Yes, I am very optimistic about the future of the Delta. We're getting tour buses, at least 2 tour buses a week come to Greenwood. And so that's outstanding. So they don't just come to Greenwood, they go on to Cleveland and see the Grammys, they stop at the B.B. King. So I feel good about tourism. I think tourism, the Delta is really a hot spot for tourism right now. And so that's very, very encouraging.
Awesome. So much to see, no doubt about that. Mayor
Absolutely.
Carolyn McAdams from the great city of Greenwood has been our guest. Appreciate it, Mayor. Thanks for coming on.
Gerard. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Y'all have a good day, too. Thank you.
We're coming right back with Lindsay Ray, the Managing Director of Public Finance for Raymond James. Stay with us. We'll